Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be reacting to A Girl Like Me. It's an English assignment called Exploring Racism. I've already done the assignment, but this is just my video commentary.
Every black female has a big butt and big boobs.
We're already starting with somebody racist. I mean, I guess we are exploring racism.
Loud, obnoxious, ghetto.
This is already off to a pretty bad start, guys. Literally, we have a bunch of girls who are being racist towards their own race.
Light skin being more attractive than dark skin.
We're not smart. We're this way, we're that way. And a lot of times we have to prove ourselves as not being true.
At a young age, I already knew the standards for a girl like me. As I become older, they become more obvious.
For context, this is made in a video in New York, in the most racist part of New York in 2006.
You have to have permed hair, relaxed hair.
You know, straight hair or like blonde hair, you know, long waves or something.
And if it's natural, that's good hair. Like bad hair is hair you have to relax because it's kinky.
Like it's not like appealing to have like natural hairstyles, or like if they are natural, they have to be like the curly head like black girl.
All I have to say is there's somebody for everybody, and everybody has preference. And so your hair isn't what makes you a good person.
Something that looks mixed or something.
I remember when I first started wearing my hair natural, at first my mom was okay with it, and she thought it looked nice. And then after like the second day, she was like, "Oh, stop that." She was like, "You're starting to look African." I was like, "Well, I am African." And that really pissed me off.
Well, it's unfortunate. European and other race tests, DNA tests, are usually $89 on average. But if you want to get a African DNA test, it's $299, which is unfortunate, and it's racist, but I don't think on purpose. They have more research on other races than they do on African people. Also, there's another problem, and South Sudan was made in 2011, so that African tribes and countries are always being split apart and remade.
There are standards that are imposed upon us, like, you know, you're prettier if you're light skinned.
I knew people in the past that like just like wanted to be light skinned, not for any particular reason, you know, because they love themselves. I mean, they love themselves except for, you know, the color of their skin.
Like my siblings are all lighter than me, and my mom, she's dark skinned, but she's lighter than me. So like I noticed, and I was like, "Hey, how come I'm the darkest?" And
Hello, have you ever heard of genetics?
you know, everybody else is so light, and I don't know. Since I was younger, I also considered being lighter as a form of beauty, or you know, beautiful, beautiful than being dark skinned. So I used to think of myself as being ugly because I was dark skinned.
Second of all, I feel that it's a shame that you feel ugly.
I knew people who actually like went out there and got, you know, bleaching cream and everything. They actually like laid in the tub, like poured like capfuls of bleach into it just so they could like see if their skin would get lighter.
Whoa, 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 it's quite extreme. Hopefully it's not like that in 2022.
But yeah, my aunt that lives in Honduras, she basically started using skin bleaching cream when she was about 25. And she started her oldest daughter on it when she was about 11. And then she has an even younger daughter that was about 6 when she started using the skin bleaching cream on her.
I've seen people say that I would never marry a dark skinned man because, you know, because I don't want that in my gene pool.
Well, it's based off preference, and yes, I guess there are some people who are racist like that, but I think it's the content of your character and not the color of your skin. That's a quote from Martin Luther King.
On the other hand, light-skinned girls have their issues too. We've been called high yellow, conceited, house nigga. I feel like both sides have their issues.
I guess I sort of felt like there was not any attention towards me because of maybe my skin color, or because my hair was kinky, or you know, just basically that. Or even when I was younger, like say there was I don't know, a doll. I used to have a lot of dolls, but most of them were just white dolls with long straight hair that I would comb, and I would be like, oh, I wish I was just like this Barbie doll.
We shouldn't be divided and conquered. We need to have unity, guys. This shouldn't be a thing that's being taught in schools at all, especially not college-age students.
In Brown versus Board of Education, the famous case that desegregated schools in the 1950s, Dr. Kenneth Clark conducted a doll test with black children. He asked them to choose between a black doll and a white doll. In most instances, the majority of the children preferred the white doll. I decided to reconduct this test as Dr. Clark did to see how we've progressed since then.
Based on the video already, we already know there's definitely not going to be a racist narrative towards this test.
Can you show me the doll that you like best or that you'd like to play with?
This one. I like that one.
Oh, this is to an awful start. The first 5 have already picked the wrong option.
I can.
This one.
That one?
I like to play with this.
And can you show me the doll that is the nice doll?
Wrong option. You just got canceled, my man.
And why is that the nice doll?
He's white.
And can you show me the doll that looks bad? Okay.
This is obscene. These children need to be taught right. Just because a doll has a certain color of skin does not mean it's bad.
And can you give, and why does that look bad?
Because it's black.
And why do you think that's a nice doll?
Because she's white.
And can you give me the doll that looks like you?
"15 out of the 21 children preferred the white doll.
Well, that's an awfully brutal example of what happens when you don't teach racism correctly.
Our ancestors came to this country and they were pretty much ripped out of their culture.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not well documented.
You know, they couldn't speak their language. They couldn't, they couldn't be themselves. They had to be like what everybody else told them to be.
And the thing is, that's not true. They could have been themselves if they wanted to. They just didn't choose to because the society has changed. And is that necessarily a bad thing?
When you don't know where you're from and you don't know what country you're from, all you know is basically you're from Africa, that's all you're given. I feel like it brings on like a lot of ignorance and it builds a lot of anger. I've seen it build a lot of anger in a lot of black young females. Like, I don't know, they feel like because they feel like they have a right to disown any kind of, African root.
I think it's ignorant to disown your roots. You can learn from the mistakes of your ancestors, and you can learn from what they did right. And I know that's harder information to get, but it's worth doing the research. I've looked at many family trees and have done indexing almost my whole life, so I know how it is.
I think for a black girl in general, it's like you're missing a piece of you, And for me, yeah, it's like, I don't have any actual heritage, not heritage, but culture. Like, I know I'm from Africa, but the different countries in Africa have their different cultures, their different morals, their different values, and not knowing that it sort of keeps us at a loss, and I feel like we're busy searching for it while everybody else in society is throwing their ideas and what they believe we should be at us. But personally, we know that's not what we should be, but we're gonna take it because we don't know exactly what it is that we should be because we don't really know where we came from.
Well, I know you're probably not watching this because this was made 2006, but my advice for you is to be your best self. Do the best you can in this life. My key takeaway from that video is they need to be grateful for the situation that they are in, and they need to explore as much as they can and to live their best life. I feel like we should stay in unity, not be divided and conquered, guys. We need to stay in unity if we want to have a successful society. This is Tom T. Thanks for watching.